Can you survive Doomsday and manage to stay afloat? Welcome back, my fellow gamers. This is Top 10 Gaming and I'm your host Amanda McKnight, and today we'll be talking about the scariest theories for Fortnite 2020. The Doomsday, or the device event as it's known, happened recently and a lot went down. There is so much to process. This event happened to help set up Season 3 of Fortnite's Chapter 2. It was a game changer and has a lot of people speculating about what could be in store for the future of Fortnite overall, and what to expect in this newest season. Today we'll be taking a closer look at some of the more horrific possibilities as we count down the top 10 scary 2020 Fortnite theories. And be sure to stick around to the end of this list where I will have some bonus content coming your way. Alright, let's get counting. Number 10. Midas is still alive. Despite the fact that Midas appears to have been eaten by a shark in the trailer for Chapter 2 Season 3, many believe that he is still alive. And based on the recent event, where it seems like Midas could be a key player, it seems more than likely that this is true. However, it is possible that things did not exactly go according to plan for Midas, and in the end, his plans ended up resulting in his death by shark. What a way to go, being eaten by a shark. Number 9. Marigold will be introduced. It is possible that Marigold was actually displaced from Midas's life, like in the mythological story of Midas's golden touch, where it was actually Midas's touch that turned his daughter to gold, and that if he created the device, it was all part of a ploy to cure his daughter and somehow get her back. As such, she could be introduced as a skin in the new season, and she could play an important role in the development of the story of Fortnite as the season and chapter progresses. And maybe this is why the device went all haywire, because it wasn't programmed to do what it was supposed to. Number 8. SpongeBob skin. So this one isn't super scary to most, but if you find SpongeBob scary, then I guess it might be. Some are hoping with this underwater setting we might see some of the residents of Bikini Bottom turn up in Fortnite, with playable skins of SpongeBob, Patrick, Mr. Krabs, and even Sandy or Squidward popping up. For some reason, the idea of these well-loved characters taking part in a battle royale, fight to the death scenario, especially against each other, seems, I don't know, kinda creepy and kinda scary to me. Is that weird? Although I will say I could imagine Sandy being really good at Fortnite.
I'm ready!
Number 7. Agent Jonesy. Within the device event, data miners managed to uncover a hidden skin named Agent Jonesy. With the description attached to it, espionage suits him well. The Agent Jonesy skin seems to be the version of Jonesy we run into in the office scene that we get to explore during the event. And the voice we hear outside the door before Agent Jonesy comes in is thought to obviously belong to him as well. Sounds just like him once he comes into the office. The theory is that Jonesy is part of a secret organization that built the device and was working with Midas to do so, whose picture seems to appear on a top secret folder on the desk, along with what looks like Marigold and links, I think? Number 6. Donkey Midas skin. Will Midas also end up with donkey ears? Now, for those who are still unaware, the Midas that we meet in Fortnite is actually a reference to the Midas of Greek mythology, known for his golden touch. This isn't the only famous myth Midas is known for though. There's also a story involving him where he becomes a worshipper of Pan, studying with the famed gifted musician Orpheus. One day, Pan feels that his skills as a musician are so great that he could beat Apollo in a contest, and challenges him. Music battle. The two compete, but in the end Apollo is ruled the victor. Midas disputes this ruling, however, as a follower of Pan, and as a result has his ears transformed into that of a donkey's by Apollo as punishment. The idea is if he thinks that Pan was actually better than Apollo, having heard both of them play, he must have the ears of a donkey, cause Apollo knows that, you know, he's the best musician. And I guess because donkeys don't know music? Some stories even go that after the rumor spreads of Midas's donkey ears, which he often hides under a head wrapping or a turban, he was so distraught that he actually took his own life. We have seen Midas turn to gold, but could it be possible that we'll see him also turn to a donkey as well this season? Number 5. The format will change. With the recent release of Riot's Valorant, which is taking the world by storm, it is possible that Epic Games might feel the need to follow suit, or at least shake things up in Fortnite in order to keep their audience interested. Granted, what most players might actually love is the fact that Fortnite is, well, Fortnite. Changing up the game could actually lose them more gamers than it might gain them. It really depends on sort of what they want to do, I guess, with those changes. During the event on June 15th, one of the things we saw was the agency building explode to reveal an orb, supposedly built by Midas, that shot up and propelled back the encroaching storm. There are theories that this could signify the storm as a mechanic being eliminated in the newest season, or that the storm will be changed up somewhat, and possibly players may even be able to control it in some way. Number 4. Sharks and other sea creatures. Following the event, you may have noticed some changes in the game, like the map slowly being flooded, surrounded by walls of water or a tsunami. With the name of the newest season being revealed as Splashdown, it's expected that water will be a key feature on most of the maps. Some have even speculated that we could be seeing fully submerged underwater maps as well, so we'll be playing the game somehow underwater, and that those underwater maps will be filled with lots of sea creatures. Some of these creatures may even operate as enemies or allies to you in battle, and may affect gameplay simply with their presence. Aquaman's presence as the new hero skin this season also increases the possibility of fishy interactions being a part of the gameplay, because you know, Aquaman's known for talking to fish. Number 3. Underwater maps. As we discussed previously, some have even theorized that some of these maps, if not all of them, could actually have us playing Fortnite underwater, adding potentially a whole other dimension to gameplay. Instead of the storm enclosing in on us, we could see some storm-like device driving us deeper down into the ocean's depths, which would make sense given the title Splashdown, so you gotta keep swimming down. It's possible that this refers to what you were experiencing on the map outside of that vision, and that the water barrier that comes into play afterward can only hold for so long, meaning that we'll likely see it give way, which would result in players being fully submerged. Swim fighting could also be interesting, as it's likely going to challenge players to come up with new gameplay strategies and potentially give us a lot of new weapons to discover and use, as if you actually try to go into that barrier, you can't really use your weapons, unlike the normal storm in Fortnite. Number 2. The real world. The office scene has really confused a lot of people when it comes to this device event. Some have theorized that the office we are transported to is that of Epic Games, and that Jonesy, who is a default skin in Fortnite, appears because we are seeing him outside of the games. In other words, this is the real world Epic Games or Fortnite offices, implying that the characters we see in the games also exist in real life. When we had the vision of the office, what could have really been happening is we were propelled momentarily into the real world. This could really be a game changer for the story of the Fortnite games, its lore, and later on this season potentially the gameplay that we see as well. Number 1. Exclusivity. Obviously the exclusivity led to FOMO and outrage among players who missed out on it. There are a couple of reasons why Epic Games may have capped the attendance for this event, which filled up shortly after opening. Epic Games either was hoping to limit technical and connectivity issues, or they did it just to create that feeling of missing out, that exclusivity for those who managed to actually make it into the events. Many seem to think it's more likely the latter, but either reason possesses some pretty scary problems or consequences for Epic Games. If they are doing this by choice, it means that Epic Games will likely continue to do this with future events, to create that feeling of rarity, making it more rewarding for those who do make it in, but pretty much infuriating for those who can't seem to attend. And what if they end up charging a price of admission to these limited events just because they realize that they can? If they did it as a precaution to help combat crashes as a result of overloaded servers, does this mean that their servers aren't as reliable as some others? And if that ends up being the case, it could mean more technical issues in the future, which may end up driving players away. Thank you so much for watching. What are you most looking forward to in the new season of Fortnite? What changes are you expecting to see? Are there any theories that you have heard that you hope are true, or that you hope aren't true? Let us know in the comments below. And speaking of comments, it's time to turn to some comments from one of our latest videos, Top 10 Scary Siren Head Encounters Part 2. Shades Freak comments, personally, if I heard Siren Head making the wee woo sound like she did, I would probably not be able to take it very seriously and die laughing while he devoured me. Wee woo, wee woo. Lol, okay, so maybe Siren Head should actually start doing that then, because humor can be a good way to disarm people and make them lower their guard, and then you can devour them. Also, if Siren Head has a mouth in its sirens, is it technically speaking any sound that it makes? I wonder if it is like a default voice for when it's not imitating other sounds, and what that sounds like. Sasha writes, I like your voice. Aw, thank you. What a nice comment. And that's all the time we have for comments today. Be sure to comment below for a chance to have your thoughts and feels shouted out in a future list. This has been Top 10 Gaming, and I'm your host Amanda McKnight, reminding you to keep on gaming on. Pew pew!